Welcome everyone back to Through Inquisitive Kids, and in this video we will be starting our topic on arched 2D areas. So it's one thing to know, the basic formulas, triangles, rectangles, quadrilaterals. You probably all know them by now. But what we're going to cover in these 5 videos is going to be about how to solve for arched areas. So that includes circles, parts of circles, or even random shapes, such as this shape here. So we're going to learn in this video some tricks and strategies to help us solve these following 4 problems. So here we have 4 listed and we have a quick description of each of them. So the first one is holistic approaches. So holistic approaches is basically about looking something as a whole, as a group. So for some values and pieces of information given in the problem, you have to determine whether it's better to handle them one by one or as a group or a whole. And a lot of the times we might group things together or like two small parts might be super hard to find, but put together it's better or easier. And number 2, cutting and filling. So if you're being asked to find the shape of a random irregular shape, what you can first do is first just turn it into a regular shape. Whether that means cutting some parts out and solving each of those parts separately and then adding them together, or first filling in the missing section so that it becomes a bigger regular shape, and then remove all of the parts that you've added so that you still have the area you're trying to find. For example, a very simple example is this L shape right here. So this L shape, okay, I'm gonna say I erase this part. Okay, so here we have a huge L shape. But what you can do in order to find its area is you can cut it this way or the other way. So cutting it will make it easier to solve. So this is an example of just splitting things up or cutting and filling. Of course, what you can also do is add a new area here. So then you can first find the thing of this entire rectangle and then find the area of this smaller rectangle, take that away, and you'll have the L shape. So that is an example of cutting and filling. So next strategy we're going to look at is ratios. So ratios is a tool that we've been using a lot, and we've covered a lot with the past, ratios on itinerary problems, which is problems that involve distance, rate, and time. It's worked in functions and just different types of problems overall in number theory as well. So ratios can work for geometry as well. And this is not the first time we've actually used ratios in a geometry. I'm sure we've done that many times before. We can split a figure into multiple parts and then label the relationships between them. All right, now functions. Functions is something that we use very frequently. So we can use it for itinerary problems, just like ratios, right? Just like ratios. So we can use relationships between lengths, areas, etc. to create equations involving variables. So these variables can vary whether on the problem and the overall solution given in the problem, but functions can always be that way to help us really write down what we're given in the problem and use that to solve, right? So we have videos discussing system of equations, how to solve that, indefinite equations, so on. So these are the 4 main solutions and strategies and tricks that I want to share with you before moving on to the 4 problems. So yeah, that's the end of this video. See you in problem 1.